Hi there, this is Gordon with Let's Go Travel Tips. So today I wanted to show you, similar to what I did the other day, a map view of Newport Beach, California. We've had a few viewers who have wanted to visit that area. I loved to go to Newport Beach, so I'm going to do the same thing of showing you on a map our highlights. Basically, I'll walk you through our day if we had a day or two in Newport of what we like to do, places we like to see, food we like to eat, and so on. So, ready? Let's go.
Okay, so here is a satellite view on Google Maps of Newport Beach, of the city of Newport Beach, as well as Newport Harbor. So if you look, you can see that there are some islands in the harbor here. One, two, three, four, five, six main islands. This entire thing is Balboa Island, even though there's a what they call the Grand Canal going between them. Balboa Island, Lido Isle, Linda Island, Harbor Island, which was originally Shark Island, Bay Island, which is the only natural island, and then Collins Island. William Collins, who built this little tiny island here for himself, also built all these other islands, again, Bay Island being natural. But he formed them by dredging out this main channel that goes through the harbor. And the sand that he would dredge out in order to make the channel better, dumped it and made up these islands. So the channel is about 25 feet deep, average depth. Not deep, but deep enough to be a harbor. So you have these nice islands to come to and so on. Let me go to a map view real quick and show you kind of what we do, where Newport Beach is about an hour and 20 minutes from downtown Los Angeles. When we come down, of course, we usually will drive, but you can fly into John Wayne Airport, which is just on the north border of Newport with Irvine. We usually stay at hotels up in this area because there's more hotels up by the airport. They're a little bit cheaper. If you try to stay in any hotels down here on Newport, they would be a little bit more expensive, more of the independent hotels. There are a couple of Marriotts and so on, but they're more resorts. So we usually will just stay at something up here near John Wayne Airport. And it's only a 10-minute drive down. The freeway comes down and then ends just right along here and becomes just Newport Boulevard and comes on down to the peninsula. This is called the Balboa Peninsula. As you can tell, it's an obvious peninsula that separates the islands and the harbor from the ocean. So let me go back to our satellite view and we'll get in a little closer. I'm going to act as if this is a day of what we would do if we were going to be going to Newport Beach. Again, coming from our hotel, if you come down, 10 in the morning, come down, we'll come down by Newport Pier. Um, you realize that sometimes, especially in the late spring, early summer, you'll have what's called the marine layer, where the cool water will create basically a fog or cloud cover. But that usually can burn off by noon, and the afternoons are beautiful. Sunshine, sunsets are absolutely gorgeous. So we usually come first down here. You come down Newport Avenue and come over here by the Newport Pier, and there's a parking lot you can see here. We like to come to this donut shop called Seaside Donuts. There is something about donuts in Southern California that I have not had better donuts than any place, any besides Southern California. So we'll get a cronut, which is kind of a cross between a croissant and a donut. Get some of their other donuts. So that's one of our places that we like to go, and you can park along here. You can put up your beach umbrella. You can just walk out into the water, wade on out, uh, walk out on the pier. The water or the beach here is a very, very gentle slope. Also, you can park along some of these other little roads and just you got to watch the timing on them. Some days there's street sweepers that you can not park, but other days if you can find a spot, it doesn't cost you anything. Whereas in the parking lot here, it can cost you $8 a day or more. But you can use an app or the kiosks, and you can keep parking. You don't have to plug a meter anymore. But you can just spend an entire day here. Put a beach blanket down and an umbrella, and spend your day in the water. This area, though, is a little more crowded than some of the others because it is popular because of the pier and so on. Again, walking out on the pier is a nice thing to do, to see the waves come in. And again, you can see the gentle slope here. From this satellite view, you can tell the actually tides out a little bit. This is the other pier that's here, Balboa Pier, and they're actually exactly 2 miles apart. They are used for navigational aids, and somewhere over here, about halfway between, of course, being a mile, there's a grammar school here, and there's a marker here that tells you it's 1 mile between piers. So those are navigational aids for boats. Not used so much anymore, of course, with GPS and so on. At the Balboa Pier, you'll see another parking lot, and there's fire pits over here that you can see. Again, parking $8 or more per day, same app, same kiosk system, but usually not as crowded. Summertime, of course, everybody's at the beach. So, but we went down recently in September, and it was still warm. Not definitely not crowded. There were people there. The thing about the beach here is it's a little steeper, or should I say, not as gradual. In fact, they have also created a berm of sand to protect along here. So you actually got, from the parking lot side, you actually have to hike up 5-6 feet to the top of the berm and then back down to the water itself. Low tide, you can go looking for sand dollars. You can dig in the sand all you want and make sand castles, which we love to do. Just a lot of fun things to do here at the piers. Now, Newport, here by Balboa Pier, there's also the Balboa Pavilion, which was built in 1906. Let me back up a little bit. I was talking about how they made the islands with dredging. William Collins did that in partnership with Henry Huntington. And I mentioned Henry Huntington in my Los Angeles video, where he helped to build up some of the outlying communities. And one of the things he did with the Pacific Electric Railroad is he brought a rail line that ended and terminated here at the pavilion. And so in 1906, they built this pavilion as kind of a touristy draw. And the red cars that Henry Huntington had ended and terminated here. So people would be able to ride the red cars from wherever they lived in the Los Angeles basin and come down to the beach. And it's been doing that for over 100 years. So just a lot of fun stuff to do here. Let me tell you a few more specifics. Again, the pavilion, nice to walk around, a lot of souvenir shops. There's a pharmacy here that's been on the corner forever. You can get sand toys. You can get t-shirts. There's one place here that I'll need to look up, but wonderful, wonderful little souvenir shops. As you progress down here through the fun zone, there's a ferry, a merry-go-round, a Ferris wheel, and so on, kind of like a small carnival. Right here, you've got the Balboa Island Ferry, and it consists of 3 boats, flat barge-type boats that will hold 3 cars each, and they just shuttle back and forth between the peninsula and Balboa Island. Now you'll notice on the island there's also a bridge over here, so it is not only accessible by ferry. The ferry is more of a touristy fun thing. We always will do that. So we will stay at park ourselves at either a pier Sometimes we'll come and we'll park at the Newport Beach Pier, have some donuts and play around a little bit, and then decide that it's time to move on. Um, we like to have a late lunch, avoid the crowds. And one of the favorite places that I like to go is the Crab Cooker. So it's right over here by the Newport Pier. I made a video specifically about the Crab Cooker. And so I will put a link in down below that talks about that. Absolutely delightful food, very delicious. A very iconic restaurant. Been there for over 60, nearly 70 years. They very reasonable prices, not exorbitant. So I'd highly recommend that. There's grocery stores and so on down along here, so you don't have to worry about not having something to eat. Another place that is good, if you can find a parking spot along here, there's some restrooms, and part of this beach is still just as fun as the rest. Again, back down to Balboa, we'll walk around here and see the shops, play in the sand, uh, park for the day, park for an hour, then we'll take the ferry over. Um, in the evening, especially, it's nice to watch the sunset from here on Balboa Pier and then be able to drive over and you come to Balboa Island. Now, one of the things you've got to do on Balboa Island is visit their donut and bakery shop, Dad's. There's actually two different locations that are separate but similar, and they have what's called a Balboa Bar. And it's just a vanilla ice cream dipped in chocolate and then rolled into whatever covering you want, usually chocolate sprinkles or peanuts or walnuts or crunched up Oreos or something. But definitely a must have. Out here at the end of the peninsula, waves are more um, lively, and this is called the wedge, only because well, that's just what it's called. But a lot of surfers will come down here, again, a little more risky, a little more uh, rambunctious in the waves. You can find a parking spot somewhere along the homes here, and you can even walk out here on the jetty. And I've seen a lot of people that will come all the way out and they'll go fishing out here on the end of the jetty. So that's always a nice thing to do. Talk a little bit more about Corona del Mar Beach over there in a minute. So also here by the pavilion, there are a couple of places. If you want to take a day trip out to Catalina, they have what's called the Catalina Flyer, which is a boat that will take you out on the ocean, about an hour and a half ride out to Catalina, spend the day at Catalina, and then return in the evening. I haven't done that since I was probably 10 years old, but one of these days we'll get to do it again. Also down here, there are a couple of places, again, by the ferry and by the pavilion where you could rent a boat. These are 18 or 22-foot electric boats. The harbor is capped at 5 miles per hour. Think about the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland, where you get in a boat with 12, 15 people and you just kind of not zoom around, but you kind of putt around. Well, you can do the same thing yourself. They will allow you to rent the boat for about $100 for an hour, and you can take your family, you can take a picnic, you can get your crab cooker and go, or Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever you want, some pizza, and they give you a map and kind of suggest where you want to go around the islands and down the harbor and see the homes and such. Real quick, John Wayne used to have this home right here on the end of this peninsula. And then Buddy Epson and Humphrey Bogart, they each had homes on this island here. In fact, when we were down there last month, John Wayne's boat is still in the harbor, and we saw it. It's called the Wild Goose. Again, check out my other video. I'll post it and show you a picture of it. It's an old minesweeper that was transformed into his yacht. So this is the lower harbor. It's the largest pleasure craft harbor on the West Coast. No commercial boating here. You got a few. You can do day fishing from near the pavilion. You can catch one of these boats, and they'll take you out for a half day of fishing out on the ocean. They have sightseeing boats and so on, but it's just again the largest pleasure craft harbor on the West Coast. There's Newport Dunes. They have camping. They have little lodges that you can stay at. Again, there's some resorts here. And then further up in the back bay, this is all reserve. So there are no boats allowed up here, and it's a preserve for ecological and natural reasons, and so it's very pretty, but not able to boat back there. This is Newport Center, Fashion Island. There's a large shopping mall here. There's a collection of offices, businesses, towers that are used for office suites and so on. So wonderful shopping area, some great department stores, some nice restaurants. Of course, you can see the golf course here. There's a theater and so on. Used to go shopping there fairly often. There's also back up in Costa Mesa by the airport, there's South Coast Plaza, which is one of the largest shopping malls in the United States. Again, just lots of fun things to do here in Newport Beach. Go to the crab cooker, get yourself a Balboa Bar, ride the ferry. It's only $1 or $2 per person. And then at sunset, either sit here on the island, sit here on the peninsula, watching the sunset, or drive up and you can set your GPS to get you there. It's a little roundabout way, but you get yourself to Corona del Mar Beach, or else you can sit there for the day. And at the beach here, it's protected cove, great place for building sand castles and such. Right up above it is a point. And if we move this, you can see that it's raised up. And from this point, you can stand and see just a beautiful view of the entire harbor, just up the harbor there. Absolutely gorgeous, especially at sunset, because now this is facing west, and so the sun sets that direction over there. Just a wonderful place. We love to go there as much as we can. I used to summer down there. My parents had a house for a number of years, so we used to go down there pretty much any time of the year. Summers are busy, but lots of fun. Love to sail on the harbor. Love to just go out on the harbor, swim in it, swim on the beach. So I highly recommend, if you get a minute and want to spend a couple of days, get yourself down to Newport Beach, one of my favorite places in the world. Glad you could join us.
Hope you enjoyed that. We look forward to having you come back sometime. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. We love to have you as part of our family. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. Until next time, God bless you. Talk to you later.